What's up guys, it's Bye here with another Rise of Kingdoms video. Let's talk about what is the best stats in Rise of Kingdoms today. This topic keep coming up recently, so I figure I would do another video to explain it again. So what do you think is the best stat? Is it health, attack, or defense? The answer is there is no best stat. Each stat has its own usage and it's also highly depend on the commanders you are using. For example, if you look at some of the commander, some commander have like a lot of very high damage reduction like Richter, and some commander has very high damage bonus like Attila. So like for example, Attila here have what 30% increase in normal attack damage bonus and counter attack damage bonus here. So like the stats work differently for each commander. For example, a 10%, I would say a 10% attack increase on Attila is definitely different than a 10% attack increase on, for example, someone like Richter here. So let's go to the spreadsheet here, for example. So I'll tell you what I mean. So in the spreadsheet here, you can see this one. I say, so the first one here, the first line is no additional stat, 10% health, 10% defense, and 10% attack. So let's say for Attila, if when Attila doesn't have his active skill active, um, for example, if there is no additional stat and his active skill is not active, he's gonna be able to deal 1,000 damage every time he attack on a target. Let's say that, and let's say if you pick up like a 10% health, it's not gonna affect his damage, right? So he's still gonna do 1,000 damage on that target. Same go for when you pick up like a 10% defense stat boost. You still gonna be able to do only 1,000 damage on the same target. But when you pick up like a 10% attack, you gonna be able to deal 1,010 damage there because you have a more attack overall, right? So there is a 10 more damage increase when like just normal attack without his skill activated. But when Attila skill acts, when Attila skill like the active skill is activated, you gonna be able to deal 1,300 damage because let's go back to the game again. Because of hit skill, right? Hit skill gave you that 30% increased damage. So for like 1,000 damage, you gonna be able to deal 1,300 damage instead because when that skill is active. So let's go back to the Google sheet here. So like when Attila skill is active, without no additional stat, you gonna deal 1,200 damage. If you pick up a 10% health, you still gonna do 1,300 damage only. Same go for when you just pick up a 10% defense for Attila. But if you pick up like a 10% attack increase stat boost for Attila, when the skill active, you are now dealing 1,230 damage there. So it is a 30 more damage increase when the skill is active. So the stat boost increase more when the skill from Attila kick in a sense, right? Make sure my math is correct here. Yep, it is correct. Uh, so that bring me back to the game here. So like the stats work differently for each commander. So like if you want to find out like what's the best stats, then you have to find out what is the best stat for each commander. And there is no like general, oh, this is the best stat, health is the best stat, attack is the best stat, or defense is the best stat. It doesn't work that way. So if you want to like really, if you really want to optimize your commanders on the gears, on the city skin or whatever stat boost you want, you definitely want to look at the commander skill description. For me, any commanders that have a like attack damage increase or just like damage increase overall, for example, Attila have very high damage increase here. They hit first skill and hit fourth skill have very high bonus damages. So like for someone like him, like I would definitely stack more attack on him because attacks attack stat could be greatly benefit from his skill. Or someone like Alex. Alex also have a skill, also have damage increase, which can benefit very well from the attack stat boost. For someone like Richard or like Julius Caesar or Sun Tzu, commander with like damage taken reduction. If your commander have very high damage reduction, health work a lot better because it can get amplified. Very similar with like what damage increase can do with attack increase. So that is usually the case. So what defense can be used for, right? So defense, in my opinion, defense is by far the best stats you can use in the open field. So let's go back to the spreadsheet here. And let me scroll up a little bit here, and let me show you guys my visual it right here. So imagine what you see right here. So you see like there is a 5 dot here, right? So the black circle, let's say the black circle is you. So, and the red circle are the enemy, right? So let's say in case you are getting swarmed, let's say you are getting swarmed by the enemy. If you have no additional stats, and each of the enemy dealing 1000 damage to you, you're taking 1000 damage times 4, right? And if you pick up like a 10% health, you still gotta take 1000 damage times 4 there. And if you pick up like a 10% attack, you still gotta take 1000 damage times 4 because you're getting attacked by 4 targets. But if you're picking up a 10% defense, you're going to, let's say you gotta be able to reduce the damage you take from each target by 10. So instead of taking 1000 damage, you are now taking 909 damage times 4. So it is, let's say 40%, 40 damage less overall. And imagine if you get swarmed by 10 marches. So let's say if you get swarmed by 10 marches, this gonna be 909 times 10, and the damage gonna be 100 less. So the more marches you get swarmed, the more marches swarming on you, the lesser damage you will take because it multiplies. So the benefit is multiplied by the number of marches that attacking you. Another scenario is, let's say if you don't get swamped, let's say if you're getting hit by the AoE skill damage, right? So let's say you are attacking, so use the red dot here, and you are oh shoot, oh my god, where is it? Where is my red dot? Okay, here. So here, let's say you are like the black circle here, and let's say you're attacking one of the. So this one, you're not getting swamped. You're only attacking one marches here. So let's say you're attacking the red marches here, and the other three red dot here on the side, they're not attacking you, but they are attacking the another allies beside you. So you are getting hit by, let's say, all of the 3 marches using YSE, for example, and they are able to deal very wide range of AoE skill damage, and you are just getting hit by the AoE skill damage by 3 of the marches because they're using YSE. So let's say each of the marches here, each of the marches can deal 1000 AoE skill damage. So you are taking 1000 times 3 AoE skill damage from the 3 marches that's standing nearby you, right? If no additional stat. When if you pick like a 10% health, you still gotta take 1000 times 3 there. And if you pick like a 10% attack, you still gotta take 1000 times 3. So here you are taking the same damage, but if you pick up a 10% defense, you are now taking 909. So you gotta be able to reduce the skill damage, AoE skill damage you've taken from the 3 marches that are nearby you. So instead of you taking 1000 damage times 3, you are now only taking a 909 damage times 3. So it is 3 damage less. And let's say if they are like 10, 20, imagine in the mass open field when they are everybody casting AoE skill damage, right? Let's say 10, 20 marches, let's say 15 marches here. you got people to take 150 less damage. And that is the reason why defense is so good in the open field, because its benefit is multiplied by the number of marches that present where you are at. And it's another reason why, if you look at let me go back into the game here. If you look at like Sunset Canyon, I mean look at Ark of Osiris skill. Let me look at the rule here. Skill system. Like War Drum costing 2 energy and it can give 80% increase attack. But Mystical Formation also costs 2 energy, but it can only increase the defense by 50%. Why? Like why would why would like 2 skill cost the same energy? One gave 80% attack and the other one gave 50% defense. It is because defense is because okay, one thing is that both of these skills are used mostly in the open field, in the big fight, in the center, most of the time. And the reason why defense is much lesser than attack is because the defense stat got multiplied by the number of marches that are fighting at the center, in the middle, when the arc is spawned. That is the reason why with 2 energy costs, you can only able to increase your defense stat boost by 50% only. On the other hand, you can increase your attack by 80%. It is because defense is much better in the open field. And that is the reason why I said stat is very depend on the usage and very situational. For me, a general rule of thumb for me is that if for rally leader, like for someone who are a rally leader, you got be able to use a lot of like commanders that have very high damage bonus, like Attila, Alex, Prince Edward also have a skill that increase damage here, or like Ramsey, I think. Like these commanders, they have very high damage bonus, and even some of them even using the attack talent tree also have a damage bonus as well. If you look at like let's say Alex talent tree here, I think one of the skill from the talent tree also increase damage dealt by certain percent here. So like, well, if you like a rally leader, you definitely want to stack on a lot of attack, especially for some of the commanders that have very high damage bonus. Another thing that good for like a rally leader to stack a lot of stat, because when you rally on a structure, most of the time in KvK, that is when you are putting pressure on the enemy side, and you want to burn the structure down quickly. You want to prevent the enemy from reinforcing the structure fast enough. So like the higher attack you have, the faster you gonna be able to burn it down and like delete, I mean like burn the flag before the enemy even like able to launch a counter rally on you. So like usually a rule of thumb for me is that if I am a rally leader, I'm gonna try to stack up on a lot of attack. And for like city skin, I'm gonna use attack city skin. If I can pick up like a attack rune, I would definitely pick up like something that gave me more attack there. Either like a 7% attack and 7% defense rune, or like a 10% attack rune. And for Garrison, I would definitely go with more health, because you want to like buy more time so that your marches can, your allies, your alliance member can reinforce the structure, right? So like having more health will definitely make you last longer, especially a lot of Garrison commander using either defense talent tree, which have a very high damage reduction, or a lot of like Garrison commanders, they also have a very high damage reduction skill, which can benefit very well from more health. So if I am like a Garrison captain, I would definitely like stack more health on my Garrison captain. I can use a city skin that gave me more health. I can pick up like a rune that gave me more health. 10% health, or like 7% attack and 7% defense rune can work as well. But like if I don't have like a 7% attack or 7% rune, I would definitely go for like a 10% health. And for like the open field, as I said before, like defense work very well on the open field because you can reduce so much incoming damage from the enemy, either AoE skill damage or if you're getting swarm. So those are the rule of thumb for me. Rally leader, stack on attack. Garrison captain, stack on health. And for open field, go for defense. And one thing I would love Lilith to do is that, like as of right now, like the equipment system, there is not much variety. For example, right, if I am an infantry player, my only option right now is to craft, let's say, for the Quinsel, is one of the chest piece. Like the only option I have is to have an infantry attack plus 8% here. So like I cannot like, let's say if I want to build my marches for open field only, I would like to have like the same piece here, let's say another piece, similar stats here that give me more defense. Like I would definitely love something like that. Or even give me an option here, like for me to crafting the Quinsel, but hey, let me pick either, I can pick either infantry attack 8% or infantry defense 8%, right? Like I think it would let people to customize their commander or the commander lineup or their commander build a little bit more, I think, and it can give a little bit more variety to the game. I think I would love to see something like that in the future for Lilith to do. But as of right now, like for equipments, definitely just go for the one that gave like better stats here. So for example, this one is the second best for infantry, which is gave 4.5% defense with no special talent. And if I can get like the one that gave me 8% attack, I would definitely go with the 8% attack here, right? It's a no-brainer there. Like always go with the one that gave you more stat boost. I would say the only time it matters is when it comes to either rally, Garrison, or open field, and then when that time comes, you can either choose to CD skin is something that you can change, or like picking up a fighting rune. If you want to go for open field fighting, definitely go for like defense. Like I usually look for like I am like an open field focused player. So usually I pick up like a 7% attack and 7% fighting rune if I see it, because they like a 7% defense stat boost there. If I cannot find that one, the next one I will be looking for is a 10% defense. And like I would love to use a 5% defense city skin if I have, but I do not have it. So I am using infantry health 5% here for my open field marches. Another thing that I love about switching to Rome for infantry is that Rome also has that like 5% defense for infantry as well, which work I think very good on the open field for me, as I am not like a rally leader or a garrison captain. Like I can be a backup. I can be like a backup garrison captain if needed, or like a backup rally leader. But most of the time, I don't want to rally, or I don't lead the garrison anymore, because I am in like the big kingdoms, and there are bigger players like with better equipments for like leading a rally or garrisoning the structure there. So yeah, like so those are some of so those are my opinion on what are some of the best stats. So in my opinion, there is no best stats. To be honest, you definitely want to build the commanders, like build the equipments based on the commander. If the commander has more attack, not more attack. If the commander has more damage increase, you definitely want to stack more attack, because attack is gonna get amplified by the damage increase. If the commander has a very high damage reduction, you definitely want to work on to giving him more health, so that it will also get amplified whenever his damage reduction kick in. And generally for open field, definitely go for more defense. And if you like a main garrison captain for your kingdoms, definitely try to stack more health on your equipment. And if you like a main rally leader for your kingdoms, then definitely try to go for more attack. So those are what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and thanks for watching the video, guys.